So I was talking earlier about the delay of the Batman 2, and bad news seems to follow DC Studios, as it has for years and years and years. But I want to talk about these rumors, and I will stress rumors about Superman test screenings not going well. You can make of it what you will, what to believe or what not to believe. I believe most people have already made up their minds based on trailers, whether they're going to go see a movie like this or not. And then the ones that haven't will wait until word of mouth comes down after the film is released. But again, these are just rumors. No idea if any of it's true or not, but you can take it with a grain of salt because sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. So it says, rumor, Superman buzz not good following test screenings. They're comparing the tone to Captain America, the First Avenger. I think I also read earlier when I was going through this, they said it was a mix of Captain America, the First Avenger, and The Mummy. Now, call me crazy, but that actually sounds freaking awesome to me. But I'm assuming they mean the Brendan Fraser Mummy. But that actually sounds freaking dope. So I would love that. But let's go through it. So it says, we have new details about Superman's recent test screenings. And unfortunately, the early buzz isn't good, with one source comparing the tone to The Mummy. Here we go. The first trailer received widespread praise when it dropped last week. Yeah, it broke records. The trailer absolutely broke records for DC and Warner Brothers and was one of the first bright spots that Warner and DC have had in a very, very long time, other than the Penguin. They are a graveyard littered with failures like Black Adam, Shazam, The Joker 2, need I say more? The Batgirl debacle, The Flash. It's a graveyard of things that have gone wrong for DC and Warner Brothers. So a trailer that does that well, that resonates with that many people, is something to be extremely optimistic about for them. But they've got a long way to go if they're going to win back the faith of the audiences. So this is what they said. It says this was on the Hot Mic podcast with Jeff Snyder and John Roca. They're talking about stuff from the Hollywood Reporter and all that. It says, we've heard from multiple sources about one screening in particular on the lot and with his close-knit crew of people he trusts. We're keeping the buzz about the movie itself in our own fortress of solitude, but we can tell you that the movie will be doing a few days of additional shooting in Los Angeles. I think that James Gunn called them pickup shots and not reshoots. There's a huge debate about even the term reshoots these days, because reshoots are actually very, very common in Hollywood. But what's different is there's a difference between a couple of reshoots to shore up principal photography and something like the new Captain America movie, which has ostensibly been made 2 separate times with endless reshoots trying to completely restructure and create a new movie out of something that was completely different from the start. So reshoots can be used as a boogeyman, but there's also validity to it when there's too many of them. But one thing James Gunn does have going for him is he's always appeared very, very organized. He made a very, very big deal about the idea, look, we're not coming out and we're not going to shoot movies until we've got a script in hand, which is actually a problem going on in Hollywood. Like Marvel, there are all sorts of stories about Marvel things going into production without a final script even ready. So to even have a shred of organization is something to be optimistic about, but always be wary when people talk about reshoots. It could mean a lot of different things. So it says, Snyder claims to have met with a source who knew multiple people who had seen Superman, and it states, quote, the buzz is not good. I'm hearing bad things. I'm hearing, quote, you should be worried things. It sounds like James Gunn is aware of the feedback. That's supposedly why reshoots are taking place, though James Gunn has said that those are pickup shots and no scenes, no reshoots. So they're not reshooting any scenes, just maybe second unit photography. That wouldn't have anything to do with reshoots anyways, if the idea is that they need to get interstitial shots of Superman's hand reaching for something. That's got nothing to do with reshoots. So, again, if I was James Gunn, I wouldn't be giving you the whole truth either anyways. He needs one of the things I do criticize him about is I think he actually kind of demystifies it a bit too much. He's too interactive with the audience going back and forth. And I think that that's a problem too. I would like some mystique around the movies and the production process. So that's supposedly why reshoots are taking place. Roca said, someone who's seen Superman told me that it's the tone of the first Captain America movie and the Mummy films. That's why Nicholas Hoult is the standout in the film, and the film is decent, but a large chunk of the film was unfinished with only a third of the visual effects done. It's also one of the things that gets said a lot when you watch trailers is maybe they'll clean up the visual effects later. I don't know how often that actually happens. Usually once you see a shot in a trailer, that's what it looks like in the final product, if the shot gets used at all. So should you take this seriously? As Snyder later pointed out, plenty of hit movies have had early negative buzz, including the critically acclaimed Barbie following test screenings. Remember, the reason those happen is to figure out the issues with the film and fix them before we all sit down in theaters. Look, this past weekend, there was articles coming out about how Disney, the company Disney, lied about being the #1 film in America when it wasn't. It was Sonic, and Sonic is now on its 3rd movie, and the reason that film has so much goodwill is because when that initial trailer came out and the absolute hellscape that we saw that was the Sonic character design was roundly panned by fans, and the director said, I hear you, I'm going to go back into and we're going to go back and we're going to fix it. And I think it cost them $20 million to do, but he earned himself infinite goodwill from fans by listening to them, by listening to the people that had made the character Sonic, and to be frankly, to make the character Sonic viable to make a movie about. He listened to them, and that goes a long way. DC is a different beast a lot of the time. I think that the studio interferes too much. You know, they hear one bad take about their movie, and then suddenly they go out of their way to change it. That was one of the issues with Snyder, was that they hear a couple of bad reviews and they say, oh, I better change everything about what's getting made. Now, you can like Snyder's work or not, that's fine, but the problem is that when the studio gets too quick to interfere, you never actually get the director's vision to come forward. So what we need is for James Gunn to make the right assessment of the test screenings. Now, again, that will be more important once they get to actual test screenings with actual audiences, not other creatives. And then he has to weigh whether he's going to take more weight from the ideas from the critics or from the ideas from the fans. And I think most fans agree that they're not that hard to please. Make a good comic book accurate movie and they will support you. And I think that that's what everybody's hoping for here. My issues with the movie, more than anything, have to do with how crowded it is. The insane amount of people that you saw in that trailer. I mean, again, I had a list at one point, but off the top of my head, you don't just have Superman or Lois Lane or Perry White. You have, which are the characters that are mainstream relevant to Superman. But we've got Guy Gardner, we've got Hawk Girl, I believe Supergirl is going to be in that movie. You've got Metamorpho, you've got Lex Luthor, you've got all of these characters. You've got Crypto. There's so many characters that it's starting to feel like a Guardians movie, which is what he's good at. James Gunn does really, really good with adult humor that has an emotional through line in team-up movies and shows. For instance, one of the reasons that Peacemaker was so great was his interactions with all of the other characters, but that's not a character like Superman who people want to be seen given the majority of the time for the film. Now we're hearing the rumor, look, it's got Ultraman in it. We're hearing the rumors, or not the rumors, the confirmation that Jason Momoa has been officially cast as Lobo for the Supergirl movie. I was like, what's next? So we're going to get Jason Momoa as Lobo. We're going to get, there's rumors that Henry Cavill will play Ultraman. I was like, what's next? Ben Affleck as Hush. And the funny thing about it is, not to go off on too much of a tangent, I actually think that could end up working for them, because look at what's going on with Marvel right now. One of the reasons it would work better with DC than Marvel is bringing back Chris Evans, and people don't know who he's going to be playing. People believe that it's possibly Hydra Cap. So we're going to get Hydra Captain America, and we're going to get Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I think it actually makes more sense given the fact that Zack Snyder loved the idea of black suit Superman, of evil Superman, of taking those original Justice League members from the Snyderverse and putting them in as villains in James Gunn world. I think you might actually be able to bridge a gap there, bridge a divide between Snyderverse fans who are weary of Superman as a movie right now, given that it's not Henry Cavill in the role, and they have their concerns about the suit, they have their concerns about David Corenswet playing Superman and Clark Kent. You might be able to bridge the gap there by bringing in the evil version of those characters, and maybe perhaps you'll build some trust back with people. They need this movie to succeed. They do. Like, this trailer broke records, but it cannot be understated with the failures of Black Adam, with the failures of Shazam, with the failures of Joker, Batgirl being like shelved, Blue Beetle, The Flash. With all of these failures, to rebuild trust with the audience, you have to have one movie launch very, very well, and then you need every film after that to at least do fairly well, to the point where the audiences are no longer out of the habit of giving you the benefit of the doubt. One of the ways they can do that is to listen to these test screenings, give the audience what they want. Let me know down below, guys. Does the idea of a Captain America First Avenger / The Mummy version of Superman even ring as the type of thing that you would want? Again, rumors abound. Who knows if any of this is true? Are you looking forward to the upcoming Superman movie? The trailer itself, I had my own hit and miss feelings on it, because I felt like that trailer took a big swing with the score. And the problem was, like, when you take a big swing, when you hit a home run, that's great. But when you take a big swing and you only hit a double, it leaves people feeling in the want. So let me know down below, guys. Are you looking forward to the upcoming Superman movie? Do you have your reservations? Looking forward to it. Happy New Year, guys. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.